Time to get underway with Senior X30, Heat 6, Groups B and F. Let's take you through the starting grid. Sam Balota and Matthias van der Kerkhofer will line up on the front row. Row 2, it's Alessandro Tudisca and Andrea Pirovano. Simon Lacroix and Lucas Horsica will be on row 3. Thierry Quinard and Raffaele Santocono will be on row 4. Row 5, completing the top 10, will be Ireland's Conor Grant and from the Netherlands, Joop Muller. Then we got Julian Kemen and Raphael Linders rounding out row 6. Loris Saxe and Davin Singer complete row 7. Mika Voss and Tobias Norman round out row 8. Row 9, it's Nick Ho and Jules Van Hool, with Rhys Newburn and Nicolas Simic rounding out the top 20. Jack Nettleship starts 21st, and alongside him on row 11 will be Thibaut Weyers. Thomas Van Vliet, Charlie Gloom, Ayrton Berg, Isabella Cazelle, Christopher Bingham, Steve Paganar, Max Storm, Victor Kulmala round out the top 30. Completing the top of the 36 strong grid will be Vince Voss, Casper Norman, Maxime van Schoenwinkel, Sibe Weimer, Rosanne Dendriver and Bertram Saxe completing the 36 strong grid. So the weather very much seeing the circuit completely and utterly saturated. Another 10 minutes plus one additional lap of this 1,380 metre circuit. You can see the rain on the camera lens, but also there is a lot of low-lying fog in the surrounding area, very cloudy overhead, and the humidity still remains at an incredible 93%. Of course, with the humidity, sometimes there can be some deluge of rainfall. We are still at 9 degrees Celsius, still a north-easterly wind to the tune of 4 kilometers an hour. It's about 2 miles an hour. So the crosswinds very, very minimal, but the tricky conditions. And again, I said about the cobwebs yesterday, Seymour. The cobwebs are still not blown away by the local vacuum cleaner because there's been quite a few front bumper penalties since we got going yesterday. However, with these conditions, sometimes these things do happen. You've just got to take it on the chin and just hope that everything plays out your way. But it's going to be Balota and Van der Kerkhofer that will be on the front row. Van der Kerkhofer, one of the race winners from yesterday. Balota, very, very close. But then you've also got on the inside of the second row, Tudisca, who also took a heat win yesterday. The drivers now are in the 2x2 rolling start formation here at Captain d'Epargne in Mariembourg, as they will now gently cruise their way to the tram lines. The red lights are on the starting gantry. Into the tram lines, revs rise, lights are on, lights are out, we're underway and racing. And a good start by Balota as Tudisca up the inside of Van der Kerkhofer, who I think went a little bit wide coming through turn 1. Has to run through to 2. Again, it's just going to be a case of just try and pick your spots. We have got a yellow flag at the marshal post on the inside of the barriers, just heading into turn number 2. Now through 3. And it's going to be Balota that has got a little bit of an early advantage as everyone filters their way. And it's like skating on an ice rink at the moment here, Simon, because they're making their way through turn 4 very, very carefully.
Oui, ça s'est plutôt bien passé pour pratiquement tout le monde dans ce départ, sauf un pilote qui s'est retrouvé en difficulté au niveau du deuxième virage. Il repart seulement maintenant. Il faut aussi compter sur pas mal de bousculades au sein du peloton, alors que devant, eh bien, c'est Sam Balota qui a pris le meilleur des départs. Il s'est déjà eh bien, causé un petit avantage là par rapport à son plus proche poursuivant, Sam Balota, qui boucle à présent le premier tour et il emmène avec lui, eh bien c'est Alessandro Tudisca. Décidément, ces deux-là, ils vont se tirer la bourre tout au long du week-end. C'était déjà une grosse bagarre entre ces deux-là hier. Sam Balota devant Alessandro Tudisca et Simon Lacroix.
Lucas Horsica has tumbled down the order, but Sam Balota has a lead of nearly 1.6 seconds after the opening lap. There's Simon Lacroix and Andrea Pirovano with Matthias van der Kerkhofer not too far behind. So that's a battle for P3, 4 and 5. So Thierry Quinard, Loris Saxe have also made up some gains. Loris Saxe started on the inside of row number 7 and now is up 6 places. There's a possible change just happening coming through the Chemin de Fer corner, as they will be line astern through the little chicane that we've got here. I think, I'm trying to make out the number on who that is in front of that trio. It's one of the TB kart drivers. Looks to be that's Pirovano that might have just got past. Yes, that is. Well, that's Pirovano possibly might have gotten past Simon Lacroix, maybe for third place.
Andrea Pirovano qui s'est emparé de la 3e position devant Simon Lacroix, et l'écart qui se creuse toujours entre les leaders. 2 secondes 4 d'avance pour Sam Balota, le leader, sur Alessandro Tudisca qui a lui-même plus de 2 secondes d'avance sur Andrea Pirovano qui découvre ce tracé de Mariembourg dans des conditions beaucoup plus humides que lors de la première manche qualificative hier. Le pilote italien qui pour l'instant tient le bon bout par rapport à ses poursuivants, à savoir Simon Lacroix et le numéro 236. Là, c'est tout simplement Matthias van de Kerkhove qui s'était imposé hier. Et attention, le dépassement ici de Simon Lacroix qui a tenté de répliquer par rapport à Andrea Pirovano, mais qui a répliqué lui aussi. Trajectoire différente pour ces deux pilotes, mais pour l'instant c'est toujours le pilote italien qui occupe la 3e place.
Yeah, very nice bit of changing between the pair of them. Very clean battling, even with these wet weather conditions. But you can see there Matthias van der Kerkhoff and Mika Voss, who's now moved up 9 places from 15th and is currently in 6th place. Looks to be with the Fusion Motorsport Benelux Progress Racing team. And is closing in on the victory lane driver who took the final heat win yesterday afternoon out of the 3 that we had. And Leclerc going very, very wide through turn 1, but still keeping the throttle pinned, but goes off the circuit. Van der Kerkhoff up the inside, and the 236 now through to P4 as they head through turn 3.
Matthias van de Kerkhove qui vient de s'emparer de la 4e position. Simon Lacroix qui glisse au 5e rang. Et devant le pilote italien Andrea Pirovano n'en demandait pas tant. Il prend un petit peu l'avantage. Attention, l'épingle du chemin de fer avec un dépassement là de Simon Lacroix. Simon Lacroix qui ne se laisse décidément pas faire dans cette manche qualificative. Il a réussi à se glisser à l'intérieur à l'épingle du chemin de fer. Et qui en a profité également, c'est le numéro 254 là-bas, il me semble. Ouais, c'est ça. Ce serait Connor Grant qui serait passé là en 3e, 4e position. Non, c'est pas lui. C'est le numéro 284.
Mika Voss.
C'est Mika Voss. Ouais, Mika Voss qui réalise une superbe remontée. Mika Voss qui partait depuis la 15e position sur la grille de départ. Mais ce n'est pas fini entre ces 3-là, puisque Simon Lacroix est parvenu à repasser devant ses 2 adversaires, notamment devant Matthias van de Kerkhove. Et maintenant, Matthias van de Kerkhove vient encore de perdre une position, puisque Mika Voss est passé. Mais entre ces 2-là, ça n'arrête pas de se bagarrer. Simon Lacroix qui vient encore de perdre une position. Décidément difficile à suivre, tellement il y a de la bagarre partout. Simon Lacroix qui va se mettre à l'intérieur au niveau du virage du raccordement. Il passe, il conserve sa position, mais derrière c'est vraiment une très très grosse bagarre. Difficile de faire sa place dans ce peloton.
Yeah, Tihon Kinau from EGP Racing Team, Eichmann's Grand Prix, has just factored into this. And look at round the outside. Simon Lacroix just deciding to go hell for leather round the outside and manages to get a couple of positions back. But look at the train that's now starting to, again, Jack Nettleship, another driver that I've been keeping my eyes on from the UK. The 275 has really got himself into the mix, who's one of the privateer drivers amidst this big grid of 108 senior X30s we've got here this weekend. But some drivers using the outside line through the final right-hander coming onto the start-finish straight. Sam Balota checked out. Don't even need to worry about him at the moment. 5.5 seconds ahead of Alessandro Tudisca and then Andrea Pirovano. But then it's everyone else behind. I mean, the gap between Pirovano and Van der Kerkhoff is 5 seconds. And then you've got all this battling happening here. That's Van der Kerkhoff, I believe. Oh, no, that's the 254. That's just come through. That's Connor Grant, one of the other victory lane drivers in this field, and has made up a couple of positions. So I think maybe with that move, Connor Grant might have gotten through into the top 10, but there's going to be a change between Third, well, that's going to be, I think that might be, more than likely, that is the 284 of Mika Vos, through on Matthias van der Kerkhofer for fourth position.
Mais qu'il s'en passe des choses sur ce karting des Fagnes de Mariembourg dans cette manche qualificative. La hiérarchie est vraiment très difficile à lire tellement il y a de la bagarre ici. On a Matthias van der Kerkhoven et Simon Lacroix qui se retrouvent pour un nouveau duel. Et ça, c'est pour le gain de la 5e place, il me semble. Voilà, ouais, pour le gain de la 5e place, puisque c'est Mika Vos qui est passé en 4e position. Par contre, devant, là, c'est très simple pour le top 3. On a en pôle Sam Balota avec 6 secondes, 2 d'avance sur Alessandro Tudisca. Et puis, à plus de 5 secondes également, on retrouve le numéro 307, c'est l'Italien Andrea Pirovano. Il reste 2 minutes de course et un tour dans cette manche qualificative.
So, just a couple of minutes to go, plus an additional lap until we have this opportunity to see how big the lead will be between Sam Balota, who has set fastest lap after fastest lap. And he's put in a 1 minute 11.420. A little bit of a touch between the 236 and the 259. Van der Kerkhoven versus Simon Lacroix. That is the battle for P5. Whereas Mika Vos has sort of slightly checked out from the pair. Just behind them is Loris Saxa in the Danish driver from Falcon, currently P7, but Jack Nettleship has charged up the order. The driver from the UK is up 13 places, started 21st on the grid, now is currently 8th. But Sam Balota's lead has now expanded to nearly 7¼ seconds, with just 1 minute and 15 still to go. We're on lap number 8, as very much the case that Simon Lacroix again uses that same tactic of going very, very wide through turns 1 and 2, and still manages to have the traction underneath him to keep on going and staying ahead of Matthias van der Kerkhoven. So that just goes to show sometimes it's all about where you place the kart. Oh, we've got one off, the 320, I think that might be the 329, has just gone off the circuit. That's Davin Singer for CV Performance Group from Germany, has gone off the circuit, has managed to get back onto the track without any assistance from the marshals through out of turn number 3. But still another great overtake here. This is just changing all the time. And Matthias van der Kerkhoven has just been passed by Loritz Saxa from Denmark. That's another change for position. And Jack Nettleship is up to 6th. Incredible performance, 15 places gained by the driver from the United Kingdom, who I think might be running in EGP colours. So again, we go on to our penultimate lap. The timer has expired. That very much is the case, whereby Jack Nettleship has showcased that in these wet weather conditions, right, there's one kart off to the side, driver out of the kart, so not too sure who that might be, but someone is, a couple of drivers are tumbling down the order. This is where we will see, it could be Tibor Wires that might be out of the race, the 340. So Tibor Wires has tumbled to the bottom of the table. Victor Kulmala from Finland, unfortunately out on the opening lap. There is the driver leading the way. Sam Balota in the 290. Comfortably ahead, the Dream Racing Belgian driver doing a very, very good job. Looks like that was a CRG for Tibor Wires that doesn't look 100% okay. Balota has cantered away into the distance. Nearly 10 seconds is the advantage he has over Alessandro Tudisca, who won one of the heats yesterday. And whilst everyone else has been battling over the scraps over the dinner table, Sam Balota has cantered away into the distance rather calmly, gotten on with the business at hand. Score good points in the qualifying heats here at Mariembourg Karting des Fagnes for the first of 5 rounds of this 2024 Yami Series Benelux season. So just 2 more corners, a little bit of throttling out of the corner, and the back end stepping to the left-hand side, but one more right-hander. Now the chicane. Sam Balota a dominant display here in these adverse wet weather conditions. The Dream Racing driver crosses the stripe, takes the win here for Heat 6 for Senior X30 B versus F. So, and we're waiting now. Who's going to be in second? It's Alessandro Turisca by 12.3 seconds. So the X30 Senior Heat 6 win goes to Sambalota. So your X30 Senior Heat 6 win is Sambalota by 12.3 seconds. Uh, 12.3 seconds ahead of Alessandro Turisca. Andrea Pirovano, Mika Voss, Simon Lacroix, Jack Nettleship moves up 15 places to finish 6th ahead of Laurits Saxe. Matthias van der Kerkhofer finishes P8 ahead of Conor Grant with Charlie Gloom in 10th. Thierry Kinard, Casper Norman and Bertrand Saxe round out the top 13 ahead of Job Müller, Tobias Norman, Rhys Newburn, Christopher Bingham, Jules Van Hoel, Rafael Leenders, Thomas Van Vliet and Max Storm rounding out the top 21. Rafael Santacorno, Nicolas Simic. We are seeing there are a couple of time penalties being issued. Bertrand Saxe gets a 5-second time penalty for pushing, as does the 2.80 of Job Müller. So that changes the finishing order somewhat. Raffaele Santacorno, Nicolas Simic, Sibe Vima. Then we got Ayrton Berg, Julian Kamen, Maxim van Schoenwinkel, Rinse Vos, Lucas Horsika and Davin Singer rounding out the top 30. Rosanne Driver, Sib Paganar and Isabella Cazell rounding out the top 33. Nicholas Holm might have retired on the last lap of the race in the 2.98 with Tibor Wires out on lap 7 and Victor Kulmala from Finland out on the opening lap.